Hi there. I've received a lot of emails over the last week or so just asking about the government's new coronavirus stimulus package. So I wanted to jump on and do a quick video that outlines the main points so that you have some idea as to whether or not you're going to receive any sort of entitlements from the government from the package. Now, at this stage, the package has not been voted on in Parliament, so it is not law yet. However, within the next week or two, it should become law, whether it's in its current state or with some amendments. Those amendments could include some more levels of taxpayers, for example, sole traders or employees. However, that won't be known until it's voted on and passed through government. So I'll outline the three main receivers of the government stimulus package, and hopefully that applies to your situation. First of all is the stimulus to business investment section of the package. Now, what this does is this increases the government's instant asset write-off from $30,000 to $150,000. Now, most of my clients struggle to buy any assets above the $30,000 limit, but for my truck, cartage and civil contract type of clients, this one might be a good one for you in that you can reduce your taxable income on assets purchased below $150,000. Now, for all of you, just remember that this is a tax deduction, not a tax offset. So, for example, if you purchase an asset for $100,000 and your tax rate is the 27.5% company tax rate, the tax benefit there is $27,500. So it's not the full $100,000 tax offset that some people think it is. It is a tax deduction. The second phase of this part of the package is to offer a 50% tax deduction on assets purchased that are over $150,000. So for example, if you were to buy a truck or some machinery that costs $200,000, you can receive a tax deduction in the 2020 financial year on $100,000. The second section of the stimulus package is the cash flow for employers. Now, this is the one that will have an effect most on most businesses around Australia. Now, what this is that it's a tax credit of 50% of the tax withheld from your employees' wages from a period, I believe they're talking everywhere from January to June, or perhaps from mid-March to June. That's undetermined. We'll find out once the law is passed. However, what that means is that, for example, if as part of your business activity statement, your tax withheld from your employees' wages is $10,000, you'll receive an extra $5,000 credit on your integrated client account or your BAS account, whatever you prefer to call it. Now, this has an effect on people with tax debts with the tax office. So for example, because this is a credit on the integrated client account, it will automatically offset any debt that you have on any sort of ATO account. So whether that be for income tax, BAS or superannuation. So for example, if you've got $20,000 owing overdue on your integrated client account, and in that previous example, you have $10,000 of tax withheld from your employees' wages, that $5,000 will go straight off that $20,000 integrated client account debt. So on the flip side, if your payments and lodgements are up to date, that will be paid to you cash within 14 days, they are saying, of lodgement of the business activity statement. This one to me has a lot of room for manipulation in regards to what we call closely held employers, or say for example business owners that are on the payroll. They can manipulate this to boost up their pay-as-you-go withholding and claim the maximum $25,000 that the ATO has put forward. So I would expect to see some clarification or what's the word? They will try to eliminate the business owners exploiting this rule. So stay tuned for that. I don't think that they'll remove the whole thing entirely. I just think that there'll be some more commentary and a bit more sort of legislation and interpretation put into what they finally decide when they pass this through government. The second side of the cash flow for small business is if you employ apprentices or trainees. So the government will pay 9 months of your apprentices and trainees' salaries, up to a maximum of $21,000. So obviously, if you're employing people and you employ apprentices, there's probably a double whammy there in regards to benefits from this stimulus package. So the whole idea is to get employers to keep people employed. That's the goal of this aspect of the stimulus package. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully that you don't have to let go any staff, or if you're a salary and wage taxpayer watching this, hopefully you're not let go because of what's happening right now. So let's hope that this has the effect that the government desired. The third part of the stimulus package that I'll talk about is the relief for households. So essentially, in layman's terms, anyone getting a government benefit up until, I believe, the 12th of March, when the announcement come through from the Morrison government, if you're on a Centrelink benefit, you will receive a one-off cash payment of $750. So that includes carers, disability, family tax benefits, any sort of New Start allowance, any sort of government payment. You will be receiving a one-off benefit of $750. So in summary, look, there's a bit going on in regards to this stimulus package. Obviously, the idea is for the business asset provisions is to keep people buying and investing, just to stimulate the economy, just to try to negate some of the fear that's going on. With the cash flow for businesses, again, as I mentioned, the idea is to keep people employed. They don't want unemployment to skyrocket and for people to start defaulting on mortgages and going back to what the United States saw about a decade ago. So they want to keep people employed. And as well as that, the household assistance package, look, I suppose that's just to boost the less fortunate at this stage. Try to help families primarily, just obviously with a one-off payment. Hopefully, we don't need to start stockpiling things like nappies and wipes and all that other stuff, but hopefully that payment might be able to help with some of those costs. So I think my take on it is, let's try to keep things as normal as we possibly can. Obviously, that's hard to do in this environment. So where you can allow your employees to work remotely, do it. Obviously, take all the precautions in regards to hygiene. I myself am working from home at the moment, just not feeling 100%, so not taking any chances. I've cancelled most of my client appointments this week. Let's just try to be wary of everyone's situation. So if you have a business that you supply to or a customer that's having some trouble, work with them, be compassionate, and we'll all get through this very soon. So if you've got any questions about what I've discussed, or if you have any worries, please let me know, and let's keep moving forward. Thanks.